Hello and hi, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. And in this video I'll be doing a little bit of a sit down talking with me video. And what I'll be talking about in this video are, in no particular order, 5 scenarios or 5 most awkward moments that I've experienced whilst living in London majority of my life. And they are in no particular order, but they're also in no specific rank or rating. They're not a specific rating in a rate of 1 to 5, but it's just 5 examples. And they're basically most awkward moments when that I've at least experienced once before or more. And I thought I'd talk about the experience and share the experience that they're usually experiences I would experience on my own, and I always found them the most awkward. So I thought I'd share them because it's not really a shared experience awkward moment. It's kind of those awkward moments on your own kind of thing. And yeah, I thought I'd talk about it. So the first awkward moment would be an example of an awkward moment would be for example, going for a walk, and you're going for a walk, and this is purposely to go for a walk and perhaps get a walk in, not necessarily go for a walk where you're going somewhere, and there are people either in front of you or behind you, and you don't know whether to slow down or speed up, and you kind of just want to, either move like in a way where you can let them pass by you or you can overtake them. So it's one of those really awkward moments that have happened maybe more than once, or once at least minimum. So the second most awkward moment would be when I'm waiting for the bus and I'm on my own, and there's nobody at the bus stop waiting for the bus as well as me, and it's just me at the bus stop at that moment, and I've maybe been waiting for about over 20 minutes, and then the bus starts to appear and approach the bus stop, and you're standing at the bus stop with your hand out waving to the bus driver so you can get his attention so you can stop the bus, but you don't really know if he's paying attention and he can see you, and will he stop or will he won't, like will he just drive right past you and just drive right, yeah, like just keep driving and not stop. And so you're on your own and you're kind of standing there with your hand out, and you've been there for more than 20 minutes, for example, and yeah, no, that either the bus driver does end up stopping, which does happen majority of the time, but there has been a lot of times where the bus driver does not stop, and you're standing there and he's just driven right past you. Maybe he didn't see you, and because there's nobody else there and it's just you, maybe you don't look like visible enough. Maybe his attention is he's unable to you were unable to capture his attention in a quick time that was quick enough for him to notice you, but he drives past and you didn't. You were too late, basically. That is like one of the most awkward moments that you experience it on your own, and it's just like, oh, what do I do about it? Like I can't do anything. I could have just been quicker or slower, or I don't know. Anyway, I could have thought, ahead of time. I don't know. But even sometimes those times you can't predict it, and then you either end up late to where you're going, or you have to kind of wait for the next bus. And yeah, so that was the second one. And then number 3 would be you're already on the bus, and let's say you've been on the bus for about 20 minutes. This bus is going to a direction where for you to get off. So the direction that's going is going in your direction that's the reason you're on the bus, obviously. Or yeah, but you're on the bus and you're trying to figure out how to get off the bus without barging through a bunch of people, because it's rush hour and the bus is busy and packed. So you need to figure out how you're going to maneuver your way through all these people and get off in time for the bus driver to stop at a time where you have time to get off, but then you don't have time to get off. And actually, as soon as you get down to the exit of the bus driver closes the doors on you and you can't get out, and you're too late after you've just barged through a bunch of people. Yeah, that has happened to me, and more than once, I think. But that is one of the most awkward moments, and yeah. So that's the third one. And then the fourth awkward moment, most awkward moment would be, this is also a travel awkward moment when you are trying to go somewhere again, but this time you're taking the train, and you have your oyster with you, and you prepared to bring it with you so that you can tap in to the bus. Tap into the train station to get to take the train. So you arrive at the doors that you need to use the card that you decided to tap nowadays. So let's say your Oyster, and this also happens. It's only really the most awkward when it's busy again and it's rush hour and you try to tap in using your Oyster to open the doors, and there's a lot of people waiting behind you in a queue, and instead of the light turning green, the light turns red, and you can't go in because you have no money on your Oyster, and you've basically been holding up a long line of people trying to get out of the station or get in. So yeah, that's really one of the most awkward moments. It's like you have to kind of find a way to get out of the queue, but then also the group of people that is turn around and there's so many people behind you. And this usually happens when I'm trying to exit the station, but it does happen as well when I try to enter the station, because when people are trying to enter, they don't really look around. So it's really awkward when you're so focused on trying to outrun people or overtake someone, but then by the time you get to the doors, you can't even open the doors and tap in. So you have no money in your Oyster, so your Oyster doesn't even open the doors anyway. So all that hubba bubba and fuss for nothing. And then yeah, so you get to the doors and the doors don't open. So hopefully if somebody's opened the doors and the doors have been left open, you know, for example, and they've gone through the doors, maybe you can sneak in and get into the station if you're lucky that the doors stay open. Sometimes that happens if it's really big. Majority of the time, the most awkward situations when the doors don't open, and you kind of have to go back to top up your Oyster to then go back to the train's doors to try and then tap the Oyster, and then it finally goes green, and then you're able to finally begin your journey. Yeah, and so then a fifth most awkward moment when, so now that I've done the majority of those are like travel experiences, when I'm traveling to and from a location, what else is the most awkward thing that I've experienced, especially because of like being in London majority of my life, and I don't really like, I got so used to it and I don't really really think that it is that awkward. But if it was my first time living in London, it might have been really, you know, overwhelming. But it's not that overwhelming anymore because it's happened to me. Like, it's happened, I've experienced it before, so it's not that awkward. But if I were to experience again, I wouldn't have that much, it wouldn't be that bad. But if it was my first time ever living in London and those things, you know, happened, it might put you off going and traveling. But luckily I've persisted forward and tried to try and still push myself to go through with the same scenarios, even if it might go that way that it has gone. But yeah, so a fifth most awkward moment when, and then the fifth most awkward moment when would be, I have to say, crossing the road. And you want to cross the road, but you're not sure, like, of course you can see if a car is speeding up, slowing down, but you're not sure whether the car that's driving is slowing down or speeding up. Like, you kind of don't know whether to cross or not, or when to cross. Like, you can't, because obviously if a car's slowing down and you're trying to cross the road, sometimes that is an indication for you to cross. Sometimes that is a norm, but you're trying to cross the road and you're not sure the car is actually stopping, but the car is stopping. So it's awkward because you're sort of doubting if the car's going to stop or not. You're like, this car's not going to stop. Like, you're just basically trying to guess that it's not going to happen, and then actually no, the car's actually trying to give way. So the car stops and you're like, should I cross? Is he like, I don't know, like you become hesitant and you don't cross, so he has to lift his hand up or flash his lights. So then I realized, oh, now I can cross. All right, so then you have to put your hand up, but it's like, I don't know why, but it's always when you're on your own, it's the most awkward. I feel like majority of the time that when you're with someone, it's less awkward. Usually, all of those experiences, and maybe one extra sixth one, as an extra lucky one, would be when you're ordering something like a drink or a tea or a coffee at a coffee shop, and you're in a queue, and it's really, really busy, and the person's not even paying any attention to you. You're standing at the till, ready to order your drink and get out, but the staff there is busy, and there's nobody like at the shop available at that moment to serve you, and so you're waiting there like, oh no, when is this gonna be over? Because I'm watching it's also awkward because you're watching them make drinks for all the other customers, so you kind of all like, oh, there's other customers that still haven't got their drink, and I just kind of want to order the drink at least, but you kind of understand like, oh, okay, yeah, they need to make the drinks first, but you're still waiting for to order yours, and it's just awkward, especially on your own again. So yeah, I was just gonna explain 5 most awkward moments when, and then one extra one for good luck, I guess. And yeah, so that's all I kind of want to share in this video today. I thought it would be a different style kind of video and a different topic where I describe 5 or 6 experiences that I've experienced that I found so awkward that they kind of want you to, it's kind of like a fight or flight experience. You kind of want to escape, but you can't because you put yourself in that situation in the first place. Nobody forced you. So yeah, anyway, so I hope if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in my videos and the type of content I make. And if you're not interested, please obviously you can exit the video and stop watching if you have been watching up until now. And thank you for watching, and yeah, so goodbye, thank you, bye.